So 11 more days, and I figured I would do this one just at a park out here in Olympia, Capitol building. There's a reason behind this. When I was aiming on 1 year clean originally back in 2020, and I got there, I get into fights with my partner or my ex, and I'd come out here and I'd write. So that journal that I put together, that I'm hopefully one day gonna put together as a book, will show some of that writing. And so I'd come out here and I'd write gratitudes, and I'd write how I was feeling, and then I'd go back home and oh yeah, this is called Marathon Park. I'd go back home and I'd try to make an amends, or I could see my part. When I relapsed, I still had recovery. I had over 2 years of recovery under my belt, and so I think that helped me with not going completely over the deep end, even though I was in the deep end. But this place, I'd stop and I'd have a rough day, and I knew I was doing wrong, and come out here and I would just watch the water or whatever last year. And this time last year I came out here and I parked at a bench, and I thought to myself, man, I don't know. And here I sit with 11 days left, and I just had finished getting this guy done. That's for my mom. My mom's death day is the 15th of May. My birthday is the 16th of April. She passed 29 days after my birthday back in 2013. And well, my clean date's on the 29th. And so I just thought that I'd come out here and do this right after getting that tattoo. Something in my head, I was driving back, and I got a little bit of time before I pick up the kids, and I was thinking, it'd be cool to do a video here, just kind of cap off, the weekend, my weekend. Took somebody that's a really good friend of mine in recovery, one of my best friends, somebody who called me their brother recently, and it meant a lot to me to hear that. And then we went out on this adventure, and that was an adventure. Two trails in one day, and the All Trails app said it was 3 trails because we stopped at one point and then went off the beaten path. And so yeah, it just it was amazing. And then I'm a few minutes from this place, and I've never walked on this bridge. And right here, that's the Capitol building of Olympia. This is the capital of Washington. And this is where my recovery begins, my real recovery. Even though I fell off, it's where my recovery started. Technically speaking, it started in Arizona and Chandler, but that wasn't recovery. That's just where my life was saved to get me to this point. And so it made sense for me to come here and do one of these videos here, and to have enough time to do it too. This street right here, for a long time on one side of the street it had homeless people, and on the other side of the street It had people walking their kids and, you know, hiking, or not hiking, running. And so you had on the right side of the street, the way I would go, the right side of the street were people that were appearing to live right. And on the left side of the street, people who had left whatever that life was and lived out there. And it was my yin and yang. There's like the symbolicness to the yin and yang, and that might be a tattoo for me, actually, a yin and yang tattoo, because I believe that everybody has dark and light. May not be even, but you know, if you can get it there and you just live in the middle, that middle line, and even in the dark there's that little light ball, and even in the light there's that little dark ball, because there's always a little bit of dark to all of us and a little bit of light to all of us. And if I always live in that line, that middle area, that balance, and I don't try to like erase any of it, because you can't. What it does is it gives me the spiritual and religious side of things for me, knowing that like I have that dark in me, and at any time I can feed that and it'll just become this dark ball. I can try to put just light in that, and well, I can't erase my past. I can't forget about it either. And so I'm coming up on the end of this 1 year marker. That was sour. I don't want people to hear what I'm saying. But it's living in that balance, learning what the balance is for me. Getting to know myself enough. Look at that snake. So getting to know myself. Is it too late? Am I too old? I don't think so. I'm not saying that it's just begun, because I'm 46. You know, I'm not getting any younger. But I feel like my journey, this ongoing journey of my purpose, is going to start right here in my life. And I'll have all these experiences of when I was a kid to a teenager, living in LA, living in Washington. All of them will help me. All of the trials and tribulations, they'll all help me help others. What that looks like, I don't know. I have a good idea, but I don't know. But I do know this isn't all for nothing. And hopefully my story and my journey will help somebody. Maybe there's somebody that's in their 40s like, man, I'm just too old. It's too late. Or maybe there's somebody in their 20s or 30s that are like, man, I don't have what it takes. I've beat up my body for too long. Because if I can, at 46 years old, do all of these things, climb mountains and work out regularly, quit using, drugs and alcohol, get these tattoos and rebuild my relationships with my kids and stuff, then there's no old or young or any of that. I see people come in that are like 21, 22, wanting to better themselves. I see people that are my age or even older, people in their 60s that are ready to better themselves. It's a beautiful thing. We don't care about age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion, how much or how little you have, but only what you want to do about your problem and how you can help. I love that saying, because this is the reality of it all. This disease, if you believe it's a disease, which I do, it attacks everybody. Whether you're a Christian, a Buddhist, whether you're straight or not, whether you're a male or a female, whether you're 13 or you're 60. It doesn't care. And it'll hit you at any age point. I know that my kids, I'm like in my 30s, and my kids then see me go on self-destructive mode so bad, to a point where my daughter, and she's like 12 or 13, she's like saying, she says, I wish I had my dad back, because for 13 years she witnessed me be that guy that was there for her, going to her psychologist appointments, going to her soccer visits, not missing any recitals, you know, making food that she loved, watching movies with them, all of that. And it threw everybody that knew me, you know, threw them for a loop. But see, that's the thing. This disease, this thing that we talk about, I've always had it in me. Ever since I was a kid, I always worried about what people thought about me. I always wanted to be accepted. I don't think I would have ever, even if I had all of the things, all the clothes, the house, all of that stuff, I don't think I still would have felt accepted. And who knows, maybe that would have made it worse for me. I'm not mad about my past. I'm not mad about coming out of class and getting jumped. I hated it enough to where like I just didn't want to ever think about it. And when I would think about it, I'd do anything to not think about it because it was so traumatizing to me. And now I can honestly say that I've told that person that walked out of that classroom, it's okay. I forgive you. What were you supposed to do? Punch back? And you make it worse? Were you supposed to get that spot at the park and get into a big fight with like 4 or 5 gangsters just so you can get a parking spot? Just so you could show whoever? Because these are things that I just couldn't live with for a long time, but I couldn't change them. And so now I'm out on this discovery of not just figuring out who I am, but how I can help. How you doing? Also, when I'm laying in that hospital bed, whether it's at home or in a hospital, I'm not in fear, wondering, what if I would have just changed then? Because I believe that if like I found out right now, if like I turn off this video and I get a call right now, or I faint, I wake up in a hospital, like, sure, there'll be regret, make no mistake, but I'll at least be able to be at peace with myself. Like, man, I was trying, I gave them all this time, and I put it on a platform that everybody could see me grinding to change it. And so I'm sure my videos leading up to the 1-year marker, because it's going to be the end of this video series, at least this particular one. I don't know. They're just going to be they're going to be the same, but a little bit different, because it's something I have to let go of. It's something I have to stop doing, because I wanted it to be a 1-year video series of when I got out of treatment. And so I've done that. Almost. 11 days, man. Soon it'll be single digits. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm very proud of myself. They say all you need to do is change everything. I might have the same address, but for a little bit there I didn't. There's a lot of things I need to still change, but I've changed a lot. And more importantly, I've changed the way I think. I had a good idea, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. And so this one's for you, Mom. You can't even watch this. And I got those bingo balls for you because well, there was a time I hated bingo. And the day that I stopped hating bingo was at your funeral. When I got up there and I saw all those people, actually at your wake, really, which was right before the funeral. When all of those people showed up, I had no idea that you made that kind of impact on people's lives. They all showed up. I didn't think anybody was. I thought it was just gonna be the 6 of us. A whole town and Zumba community and all your bingo friends came. And I realized that that was your thing. And so now I'll always look at my arm and see that and realize that, like, perspective is everything and perception is everything. And my perception of that was so wrong for all those years. It was the only thing you had outside of, like, being Mom. And so I felt this was fitting, coming up on this close, to do this for you. I love you. And whoever's watching this, massive action. Tony Robbins says, all you have to do is change right now. Right now. No matter what's going on at whatever time it is, look in the mirror and say, right now. Reach out to somebody and tell them you need help. Make the call. Shoot the text. Go into the meeting. Go into the place. Reach out to that person. Make the change. Do something different than you've done for however long you've been doing it. And just keep doing it differently until that different is your norm. And then do it different then too. That way you can also be there for somebody else. Like hopefully I am for you right now. I don't need to know who you are or where you are or what you are. I just like to know that maybe this makes a difference. Just tell yourself you love yourself every single day, as many times as you can. And rely on ourselves to tell ourselves that. Because we're worth it. Alright, that's all I got. Mary the Copper Wolf. That's who's my tattoo artist now. I got something else, a couple things planned. I want her to do all of it for me as I do these journeys and go through these things. And I like knowing that I have a tattoo artist now. Bye, guys.